Okay, so today I went to Centrelink, which is the arm of the fiduciary responsible for our welfare and white well-being of Western kind that created this great Commonwealth of Australia. And they continue to try and insist that I require a bank, which is against the law to do. And they still insist on having a license, and they still insist on, licensure, and they still insist on that we have to have participation in usury by being in a bank. They won't issue silver or gold because that would be admitting that they're they have to participate in the Commonwealth. And besides, they don't want to give real money to us, of course. Being thieves, they wouldn't. And they basically did a transfer to the account that doesn't exist because Bank First don't want one to be in the monetary system. So we're in a sort of, tied position. They said, it's going to stay continuing for a while. They put rent assistance back on, which is really nonsense. And so we don't look after disabled people in the foreign administrator here. So that's the latest in news. And so we've got this very interesting thing, but I've told them I'm okay to die on the street in my own country. I'd be quite happy to die in the Commonwealth rather than out. And so it's extremely interesting. They don't realise the responsibility that they hold to the progeny of the Anzac under the many conventions and the UN treaties and etc. And under the Anzac from many, many years ago, the real diggers, not the current liars who are doing absolutely nothing to hold up our rights to self-determination and to self-governance. These nons who come into our Western countries, destroy them, gut them. I mean, I went down to Richmond, Abbotsford area today, and it was absolutely disgusting, run down, Asian, non-white type area, and it was disgusting. Most of it was either Asian shops that were not looking great in any way. They were quite messy, and I wouldn't say messy, what would I say? Unkempt. Even worse than that. And closed ones, and graffiti was everywhere, and all of this type of thing. Just a really ugly area where it used to be thriving with shops and things. So that part of this inner city area, and that's in Yarra, and Yarra's an absolutely horrible area to be in. The staff are nice in the Centrelink, but beside that, it's all disgusting now that they've white erased the entire area. Really disgusting. And the pandemic COVID nonsense thing that they put through a couple of years ago was just party to the destruction of our kind, Western kind, and destroyed the good market type of environment that we usually have. And we're such a diverse people as Western kind that all of the lack of diversity now, where it's all nons and none of Western kind really, is really damaged that area. And when I was standing in line waiting I wasn't standing in line, I was actually talking to the man at the front desk. A black man comes up behind and says, "Hurry up." Like, fucking scared the shit out of me. And I was like, what the hell? I'm just talking to the guy getting to go wait in the other room. And so I went into the other room and waited, and they couldn't pull it all together. And then they just tried to talk me into getting a bank. And you get a bank, we don't give cash because it's not safe, and we don't hold cash. And I'm like, yeah, but it makes no difference. You can issue silver or gold or cash, it's up to you. But there's not going to be a bank account. It might be for the charity one day, but that's not formed. I said, and I only have a certain amount of time, and then I'm going to go out and die on the street in my own country, I suppose. And given you're a foreign administrator, you don't really realise that you're the administrator and I'm the beneficiary, so where's my goods? And so they made a payment about a week ago, and the bank turned it back. So it doesn't go into limbo land, it just gets declined, just gets rejected, because there's no account for it to go into. So Centrelink are trying to pretend that they sent money to a bank account that doesn't exist. And I've got in writing that the bank said there was an amount that was given to you, and then the other amount was rejected because there was no account. So Centrelink, you're not going to win this one. You're going to end up with a dead individual, and the public's going to know. So I'm happy to die on my own land as an example that you're not in the Commonwealth, Centrelink, that you're not acting under the Commonwealth of Australia Constitution Act 1900 Commonwealth, Section 115, and therefore you are acting against the Commonwealth. There's nothing in any legislation that can contrast and contradict our Commonwealth of Australia Constitution Act 1900 Commonwealth as enacted. And the only referendums that we've had have been prior to 1947, and even earlier actually, because anything done from that war where you killed a lot of Western kind, most of the laws going forward from that time, which I believe was 1914 by the way, a lot of that done since then does not apply at all. So to the extent that any act goes against the Commonwealth of Australia, the Commonwealth of Australia Constitution Act 1900 Imperial, is null and void. Therefore, Centrelink, Medicare, you're acting outside of the Commonwealth of Australia Constitution Act 1900 Imperial, and you're also acting outside of the Commonwealth in its entirety, because we are centred here in Melbourne under the stone, by the stone of the laid in the foundation of the Shrine of Remembrance that is our shrine to our Anzac and our diggers, not to Indian diggers, because they didn't exist, it didn't happen. They may have been in their own places, but we're forgetting the Indians took our country last time in India, and so we moved on. And finally they removed us from our country, India, in 1940s when you helped them do so. Remember that? Remember that? Remember that supposed teacher? The anti-white Gandhi? Remember him? Yeah. Yeah, he wanted to take the country from the English. So we're sick of being victimised. And so are the Germans. All of Western kind should be sick of being victimised and stolen from. It's time to wake up. So, Centrelink are still attempting to insist on forcing the International Monetary Transactions Act upon a member of the Commonwealth. I believe that that might be a crime of genocide against the UN treaties again. So how do we sort of address that and deal with it? I don't know. I don't really know. But it's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun. Because we're going to make a shit ton of money. And we're exiting. We're out. We're leaving you, foreign administrator, stealing our land, culling out our people of Western kind, putting in every form of non possible from every other spot on the planet or the plane upon which we live, and placing them in amongst us to divide us and to cull us out. And you don't care if I go outside and die. You really don't. Because you think I'm going to cower. I'm not going to cower. When my time's up, I get to meet my maker. So nobody has consent to revive me. Nobody has consent to take care of me when I don't need to, when I no longer wish to. Because remember this, once the beneficiary says no, the trustee must retreat, and the administrator can't do a damn thing. So it's time we did what Gandhi did to us, to them. It's time. Western kind, are you going to wake up? Are you going to do something? Are we going to face this? Or are we going to let them keep doing this to us? Either we have a system to take care of white well-being of Western kind, or we don't. Which one is it? So, the Secretary of the Department of Social Security has received 3 emails or more. One of them, the first time they replied, and they didn't answer the question. And they didn't take responsibility, even though they are the responsible authority for that disablement allowance. So, do we take care of the disabled or don't we? Or do we only take care of people who are in the International Monetary Transactions Act? Which, by the way, if you remember from one of my previous videos, our credits to the IMF were sold to the R.B.A. by some foreign administrator. It wasn't done by the Commonwealth. They say it's done by the Commonwealth, but that's not true. It was done by foreign actors, foreign administrative actors. They have no interest in our care. They only have interest in getting what they think we can't have, what they think they can take. And they don't give a shit who they give it to, as long as there's enough money involved for them. It's time for us to do something, isn't it? I'm not getting a new bank, Centrelink. The trust Might, but that's not for me to touch. I can pay all the costs. It doesn't bother me at all, but only while I'm working. And your foreigners that have come in have committed perjury in the court, and they progressed with court cases and tribunal cases while the higher court was in process. And I want to see the authority I gave for them to do that, because I didn't. So I want to see that written authorization. And this will be fun, to be honest. It's going to be fun. Because one day, money changers are going to be facing the whip again. So enjoy that, money changers. You're going to see it. And you're going to be running away, like they said in that video in the internet. Did anyone see that video about all the houses in a certain spot being sold in a quick hurry? They're all running away, certain people. Was that fiction? I don't know. Anyway, there's going to be a lot of people running now because you're not in the Commonwealth of Australia Constitution Act, 1900 Imperial. And you just won't let us not have a bank account. Will you? You're going to try and force everyone. But it's too late. 3 times I've been pushed out of that banking system. 3 times. There's no 4th time. 3 times is law. I'm not falling for your tricks. I don't want a bank account. Thank you very much. You can pay me in silver and gold. I'm happy to use cash because I can go and exchange that into silver and gold. But other than that, you have a duty. You have a fiduciary obligation to me by affidavit to the court that is unrebutted, and also to the people as a part of the state. And I don't mean state of Victoria only. The state of Victoria has a fiduciary duty, and so does the supposed Commonwealth of Australia, which is really just Australia, because they act under the Australia Act, 1986. So we're not dealing with the Commonwealth here. We're dealing with foreign invaders. That's why they're all non-whites, because we had our own cohesive, community. We didn't fucking colonize other people. That doesn't happen. We colonized our own people because that's what we do. We form little colonies of our own people. With such a diverse range of Western kind, we don't do any of what these numpties keep saying about. You, on the other hand, Centrelink, as part of and Department of Social Security, as part of the foreign administration over the Commonwealth, you are committing some very serious crimes, aren't you? Trying to pull the wool over our eyes, sending money to a closed bank account when the woman, the beneficiary, is standing in front of you. You didn't even ask for the autograph to prove who that individual is, despite having it in your records. And you're about to be issued with that writ again, the affidavit, and the bank letter that I showed on the internet today, because that's now in the public. People can now see what's been going on, what's happened, what we've done. It's going to be a good day for people. because I realise the banking just got returned to the Commonwealth. So it's time to start pushing the IMF out, or at the very least the R.B.A. The R.B.A. needs to go. You're not our people, R.B.A. We're not interested in you. We don't want you here. When will enough be enough? Well, when you remove your foreigners and you get out. Take your money and get out. Take it and go, R.B.A. We don't want you here anymore. We didn't want you here before, but now we definitely don't want you there, because your banks hate our people, and we don't like anyone that hates our people. So R.B.A., you're on your way, so you might as well leave and don't let the door kick you on the way out. Okay? Don't let the door hit you. But we won't be holding the door. So if it hits you, bad luck. Because you were not invited. You invited yourself to steal the spoils of our country and our land. And we do not approve. We do not consent. We've never provided any type of consent, not even tacit agreement or anything like that. And also your banks debanking us is telling us very, very clearly that you don't want business with us. You just want to commit usury on people. And if we die in the streets of our country, well, that's okay with you. But it's time we, as Western kind, as members of the Commonwealth, said no thank you. We'll take our gold and silver and anything we can borrow, and we'll leave to where God plants us. We've done it many times in history. We'll do it again. And if your people chase us, we have a right to self-defend. So we're just letting you know. Well, I'm letting you know. Centrelink, Department of Social Security, Medicare, and everyone else involved. All you foreign administrators. You think you own our land? You think you can give it away to the corporate crypto Aboriginal? So you can just sell all our stuff off cheap to non-whites who don't give two hoots about us? Let us die on our streets because you want banks and we don't? Remember your friend, Centrelink, Lydia Thorpe, your friend, said this is a war? Remember that? Administrator? Remember that? Your own administration and you know, fiduciary obligees, or obligees, I don't know how the word's said, but your own fiduciary obligees for our trust said this is a war. So guess what? You started it. Your bank started it. Commonwealth Bank, Westpac, and Bank First. So that's 3. 3 repetitions is law. And you owe me a disablement insurance. You owe me disability allowance. And your Department of Unfairness and Anti-Whiteism in Housing owes me about 80 grand because you've failed to assist me to have a home to live in while making invaders nice and comfortable, giving them everything. Here, you can have a bank account and you can participate with us because we've got a bank account. And this one over here is sleeping in their sedan or outside, and all these people of Western kind on our land are sleeping outside on the ground, on the concrete doorways. This is going to change, and it's going to change in a really big way, because these are being published, and that's notice every time. And you can try to wiggle your way out of it, but you haven't answered the question. How are you going to pay if there's no bank account? And you hold a fiduciary obligation to do payment, to upkeep the beneficiary. So how are you going to do it? Because you're going to have to start soon. Because once it gets out here that people like myself are out on the street dying because of you, it's going to be really interesting, isn't it? Remember what Gandhi did to our people? We can play that game too. And I think we should. We should balls up like the Western kind that we are. And we should damn well do something. So, anyway, that's news from the Commonwealth. There aren't many only in the Commonwealth. But, we try to function. If I can get a charity up running, I've got an ABN. Just needs a structure and some people within it. Once that happens, the charity can have a bank account and buy the gold and silver, and we'll get our way out that way. So they think they're going to stop the Commonwealth, but they're not going to stop us, because we are a people. And the sooner we act as a people, the better. So, Western kind, let's go. Let's do it. Let's do this. Shape up. Let's go. We've got to earn the money, or get the money, make money, whatever. We've got to be smart about it. We've got to have the right structures like trusts and so on, and get things organised, get them leak-proof, get the right teams together. Look up Laurel Langmeyer for her book Millionaire Maker. You don't have to be a millionaire, but it sure would help. Don't you think? To have your own just millionaire. Let's seize some of that gold and silver to take with us. Now, do I think we'd have to leave our own cities and countries? I don't know. Maybe. With all this border stuff, it might be a bit difficult. But given that the Commonwealth of Australia has no inner borders, they were abolished by the Commonwealth of Australia Constitution Act 1900 Imperial. So there are literally no smaller nations within the Commonwealth of Australia. And the Aborigine were not involved in it, and they're still not. So they presume that they can do whatever they please, and that's fine. They can live alongside us, but they're not the crypto Aboriginal. They're just separate people. So they have no bearing on us. Same as they never had any before. But they'll sure like to steal our everything we ever created. But that won't win, that won't come through. So we're going to fight. Our people will fight. Hopefully sooner, because people like me can't hang on with nothing forever. There's only so much a life can take. And so when we go outside to sleep alone outside, when it comes to 0 degrees, it's really difficult to wake up from that in the morning. It's really hard to get the body moving and to get out and to actually get up and do something. Because having a bathroom and a shower and facilities really helps. But you can't do that from a car. You can't do that from sleeping on a concrete doorway. It just can't be done. Because survival mind just isn't helpful. So, where is that body of Christ? Where are you? Are you doing something? Are you making the money required to exit? Are you taking the gold and silver and going? Because it's time. Call to action, let's go. We're not sovereign citizens. We're just sick of being dual citizens, one to Victoria and one to the Commonwealth. We can't be both. You're only God or Mammon. That's it. They're the two different choices. And one leads you carefully down to hell and the other one leads you straight to heaven. Straight is the gate and narrow is the way. And birds fly in heaven. That should give you a clue as to when that heaven is. Very, very clear. So I'm going to stop now. Really serious videos sometimes, isn't it? But I don't want to give you entertainment. I want you to think as a people. We are a people. Right across this world, Western kind, we are a people. You know, these foreign administrators over our countries is not good enough. We need to stand and say, no way. You want to be like that? We're going our way. And we need to do it. Sometimes leaving everything behind and moving with what we've got and our family is what we have to do. Sometimes that's what we have to do. And I admit I don't have a family. There are family members, but they don't, lift up their arms to assist. They're too worried about their own problems, too much selfish individualism that they can't see. It's very difficult to live like that. Very difficult. Anyway, so my contact details are in one of these videos, the earlier sort of ones, I suppose, before today. Get contact. I'm contactable. Someone just contacted me this not long ago. I didn't see it, but I saw it now and I've responded. And I'll get the information and we'll start hooking up and let's make money. Let's go. Let's do stuff. Teamwork. Doesn't matter what it is, as long as it's not criminal. We don't want to do murders for money or something like that. No. But something that people find valuable, well, the world's your oyster. Everyone's got a skill. Everyone's got something they could write about and put on Amazon or somewhere. Haven't they? Anyway, many times I've offered. First 4 people who get involved on my project, on my product project, will be getting a free holiday. A bit hurry because they'll run out. I've got a set amount of time where I have to give them, and I have to figure out how to get them out. But anyway, I do have them. I purchased them in November, and they've got a year and a half, and then I've got to give them to you before a year and a half. So, what are you waiting for? Waiting for the Commonwealth to grow its own wings and start by itself without the people? Because the Commonwealth is the people, isn't it? Like the body of Christ. Commonwealth of Israel is the body of Christ. Commonwealth of Australia is, guess what? The body of the people, the body of Christ. Same thing. You're all getting mixed up, thinking there's this guy in the sky. You know what I'm saying? Confused. Stop dreaming. Dreaming's for the crypto Aboriginals. And there are thousands of crypto Aboriginals around. Don't follow them. It's time, you know. Anyhow, I said I was going 5 minutes ago, and I'm hungry for dinner because I didn't have breakfast. So yeah. Okay. Have a good evening.